Well, good morning, folks. Cowboy Bob here at Heartline Ranch with my wife, Corey.
Good morning.
Hey, and what we're going to do is this is Corey's specialty as our teepees, and she's going to walk. We've never done this. We've kind of shown people pictures of them, but we've never gone inside and explained how they work and why they do work and all about them. So I'm going to have Corey start talking.
Okay, first of all, this is a Lakota style teepee. And if you can see on the side here, this one we named the Red Tail Hawk teepee because of the red tail hawk that's up there at the side. So on each side we have a red tail hawk because there are a lot of red tail hawks here, and we felt that the red tail hawk kind of led us to this spot. I know that's kind of a Native American belief that some people think is hooey, but we believe in it. And so we feel like we wanted to dedicate a teepee to the red-tailed hawk that has protected us and brought us to this spot. These poles are the teepee poles on the outside that control where the smoke flaps are. See the little pocket in there? That little pocket is for these poles, so you can open and close them. So in the winter time you have them closed. This is the fall, and we're getting ready to have some rain here in a little while, so we wanted to close them. Then in the summertime they're open, so you have a good flap for the air to flow. Okay, and so right now with no fire on the inside fire ring, which we'll show you in a minute, the air comes down the chimney and out the bottoms. You can see at the bottom it's set up off the ground. That's a summertime setting so that you can get more air on the inside. And so when you start a little fire on the inside, however, the airflow changes and it starts coming up from the center fire and up out of the chimney. That's why you want to have the smoke flaps open. And so that actually, when it's raining, pushes the moisture out of the chimney area and causes it to evaporate some of the moisture. So you don't get near as much rain in there as you would think that you would. So on the teepees that we rent, the flaps are tied down with that little thing, and we just push them back like this.
Show them. Let's show the straps and that real quick.
Okay. So here's the straps that just tie like that at the sides and at the bottom. Okay. And then these little things hold down the side of the smoke flaps. Now when the smoke flaps are open, these poles are around at the back of the teepee. And you can see all of our teepees right now are closed up on the top part to protect it from any moisture, because there's not going to be people in it with the fire going. So when we come inside, the best way to come inside is to step in first and then duck down. Now that Bob's inside.
That's a lot harder for me to get in right now.
So I'm going to turn on the lantern that we have for people to see by. There's a little table over here. Little lantern that we put on the table. And here's a little fire pit. And this little thing is for the mosquitoes. It's called a mosquito ring. And it's what people can burn like incense during the summertime to keep the mosquitoes gone.
Now there's a story I'm going to tell you about that mosquito ring, and I almost hate to admit this. We were having a lot of trouble with mosquitoes 2 years ago, and we could not figure out what to do about it. And this woman from Borneo, she came up and she said, well, you guys need a mosquito ring. Well, we'd never heard of a mosquito ring, and we ordered some on and had them shipped in, and found out that they worked great. We talked about it at the local hardware store, and he said, oh, well, we've been selling these for years.
We did not know about that.
We felt pretty foolish, but we now have them at all times.
Now I want to show you something else about the inside that people don't realize. These are insulators, okay? And what they do is when the air flows up from the outside of the teepee that's up a few inches, the airflow comes up through here. Now in wintertime, when you drop the outside of the teepee down so that there's not that airflow, then these also hold the heat to release it up, okay? And you can see up, can't see out quite as good because of the smoke flaps being closed. So when it's raining, it actually stays pretty dry in here. The only way it gets really wet is if somebody pulls the door flap inside. Then all the rain dumps in. Okay? But when you leave it outside, when we leave it open so we have a little more light, then the water just sheds right off of it. So as you can see, we have 4 mattresses. These are memory foam mattresses, and 4 sleeping bags and 4 pillows all the way around.
Well, Corey, what are these bags? Explain those bags to everybody.
Okay, these bags are sandbags around the outer edge, and what they do is help keep it waterproof and also help it hold up the form with these insulators. Okay, these insulator panels are also long enough, you can see this one, then in the wintertime you can stretch it across over here and have it be warmer inside. Some people also have a little flap that comes from about here on the teepee and goes up to the top so that they can store clothes and things in them, and it also directs the heat down more to circulate inside the teepee.
But that's more for
long-term staying. We're not going to have people in here renting during the wintertime. It's just too hard on the carpets and the floors and the teepees themselves. Some people do some things that are not as easy to take care of, but they can run a little fire pit on the inside, and we have pictures of people doing it. One of the things I want to show people is that a lot of people have thought it's popular to build a fire into that ring so that it's standing, the wood is standing up like a teepee, okay? I want to tell you that that does not work good in teepees. You need to lay the wood down and crisscross it down inside so that the fire doesn't lick up too tall. It really can be a problem. You need to keep smaller fires. And the other thing that people don't realize is that smaller fires actually are warmer because of the coals that it develops. So the warm coals is what you want for all night long. So you really need to be starting to build a fire for inside the teepee about 5 or 6 o'clock at night so that you have the atmosphere of the teepee warm. Okay? And so we also have a little footstool thing here that people can move around. They can put their clothes inside of it, or they can just move it up to the fire to sit on it for their comfort. So we have a little table that they can put some of their books and things on, and the 4 mattresses, the fire ring, the lantern, and this little footstool.
And we furnish the sleeping bags and the pillows.
Yep. We even have some extra sleeping bags in case somebody is a little chillier towards this time of year where it gets cooler at night.
And we have some blankets. Like if it's getting chillier at night, you notice there's a blanket on these, and that's so that for extra warmth in case it's needed.
I put the brick around the fire pits. The brick kind of helps delineate between where the fire and things can go and where they can't go. You see on some of our carpets, people are careless about where they put coals and that kind of thing. So every now and then we have to replace some of the carpets. But the teepees I was in as a child had lots of blankets and sheets and that kind of thing on. And we've discovered when you're working with the public, that does not work well. They trip on them and mess them up a lot. So we have to keep it pretty simple for our guests.
But this worked out way better.
This worked out way better. And then they have a picnic table and a fire pit on the outside. Why don't you show them that?
Okay. Have to excuse me while I bend my old body out through this. Okay, here we go with the picnic table.
Now most of our fire pits are bent up like that, and I still can't figure out how they get bent up. Maybe they melt a little bit when people are burning firewood in them. I'm not quite sure. But we like to have people keep the screen on them. They can burn on this with hamburgers and stuff, cooking it. And sometimes if they need a camp stove, like when we had the year when there was a fire ban, we had camp stoves that people could rent for $20, and if they returned them clean, they got their $20 back. We just did it so that we didn't have to clean up after them all the time with that. So this is our teepees. This is how they work. You can shine around and look at the other teepees. Around here you can see, from here you can see 5 of the teepees. One is kind of hidden behind the tree bushes over there.
Here we go.
Just to acclimate yourself, this is our special tree called Angel Heart Tree. She's kind of the mother of the campgrounds, is kind of how I think of her, because she's just such a beautiful, unique formation.
Now, if somebody wants to take a shower, what do they do, Corey?
Over there they go to the portal showers, and inside is a handheld portable unit that is heated up by propane, and then there's a porta potty, usually 1 or 2 porta potties, and a wash station. And we fill the wash station with our own water, and so that they have available water to them at all times. And it's pretty cool. You're not roughing it quite as bad as Native Americans had to rough it, because you have a shower and a porta potty and a wash station. So I've stayed in teepees before and had a lot of fun with it. And this gives you a chance to see what it's like. So this is our campgrounds. We'd love to have you guys come and stay. It's $150 a night. We book through booking.com, Airbnb, HipCamp, and VRBO. So we look forward to having you come visit us. Thank you very much. This is Corey and Cowboy Bob at Heartline Ranch.